Hi everyone, welcome to Yin and Restorative Yoga with some gentle movement. So if you are among us runners or hikers, or you walk quite a bit, you might find today's physical practice quite helpful in stretching all throughout the legs and the hips. So grab a couple of blocks, a strap, a bolster, and a blanket, and invite you to sit with your legs in front of you, propped up on your folded blanket or pillow. Have it high enough, have your pelvis high enough so that you can allow your knees to drop lower than your pelvis, and play with how you cross your legs, whether the thighs are very wide apart or the shins are crossing towards the middle of each. The closer together, the more easeful the cross-legged position might feel. So in the past few classes, I've been talking about patterns and habits, and how do we become more aware of our patterns and habits, especially when neuroscientists say that 95% of our daily actions and perceptions are driven by the unconscious mind. Whoa, that's a lot. So I want to bring back some information from Alicia Goldstein and Bob Stahl, who wrote the book Mindfulness-based Stress Reduction, and they have a whole program that teaches these things, and they talk about 7 mind traps, and these are patterns of thinking that inhibit our inner peace, cause stress. And the more, and I've been talking quite a bit, that as we cultivate awareness, and really important not to judge ourselves as we're becoming aware of our patterns, and compassion, awareness and compassion, we can breed our freedom to choose what patterns we keep and what patterns we replace. And so I'd like to share 3 of those 7 mind traps today, and then I'll continue the next few in the next few classes. So one of those 7 mind traps is emphasizing the negative and discounting the positive. So this is when the judgment or critical mind alters your perception to look for flaws and what you might deem unfavorable, even when you're having a good time. And this is in any kind of situation. For example, after savoring an amazing meal, you might think, this was delicious, but the plate didn't look very nice. The restaurant wasn't that clean. And then you start to zoom in on all the so-called negative details that just totally overpasses your enjoyment of the experience. Such a tendency can contribute to anxiety and depression. Instead, you might consciously train your mind to recognize what you are grateful for, something that we do at the beginning of all of our yoga classes, practicing gratitude. A second mind trap is negative self-talk. And this is the dominant voice of the inner critic that may constantly judge you or deem you unworthy. For example, as you're trying to establish a new habit of practicing yoga each morning, let's say, you might think, I can't do this. I'm not disciplined enough to stay consistent. I'll never be able to meditate regularly. My mind is too busy. I hear that quite a bit. This habit of self-criticism can contribute to fear and procrastination, and gradually develop into shame and insecurity. I remember Brene Brown, a therapist, talking about shame and how it's one of the most difficult emotions because it's paralyzing. Shame is paralyzing. So an antidote to negative self-talk is to practice treating thoughts as mental events, not facts. Even questioning thoughts like, is this true? Is this really true? You can also use loving kindness meditations like metta, which we've practiced before, to cultivate self-compassion, like rain meditation, and repeat heartfelt positive affirmations to yourself to help rewire your subconscious mind. Remember, what you say over and over again in your mind leaves an imprint. We talked about samskaras yesterday. And the third mind trap that I'd like to highlight today is shoulds. This is the pattern of constantly comparing yourself to others or to external standards. It also includes shoulding on others or repeatedly measuring others to your expectations. It can build a feeling of guilt and stress when you don't live up to your adopted expectations, and it can cause you anger and resentment when others don't live up to them. Instead, you might try practicing switching from judging to understanding, as my yoga psychology teacher, Ashley Turner, prompts. And one way that I've found that I can let go of the critical mind, especially in judging myself, is to cultivate curiosity, like we do when we're practicing meditation, is to replace that shoulding with, this is interesting. Let's see what this is about. And so plant and water the inner seed of compassionate understanding, using, again, as I mentioned, metta meditation or loving kindness meditation, and learning to forgive yourself and others. Remembering that forgiving is not just a one-time thing, like when a big situation arises, which can be really difficult if we haven't practiced it daily. How do you practice forgiveness daily? Just like you can practice gratitude daily. And so with that, let's begin our physical yoga practice. As you're finding a comfortable way to be still in your body, I invite you to bring a kind curiosity into observing the sensations in your body. Becoming aware of the aliveness of different parts, like around your skull, your jaw, your neck and shoulders. Taking your time to move your awareness all throughout different parts, eventually to the bottom of your feet. Feeling the aliveness of sensations, even areas of tension. Can you feel the breath moving? No need to control the breath. Just become curious about its qualities. Feeling your energy. And then noticing your mind. What state is your mind in right now? And can you honor what's here now without shoulding on yourself? And what's present in your heart emotionally? Can you bring compassion to that? Let the breath in a little deeper. Slowly exhaling through your lips. Taking the time to slow the breath down even more. And feel the movement of the breath throughout your body. A couple more times. What's something right now that you can genuinely appreciate offering gratitude for? You might even sense a subtle shift in your energy by practicing gratitude. So from that standpoint, what is your intention for your practice today? Is there anyone you'd like to dedicate this practice to? A way of extending loving kindness to someone else. Let's create resonance together by chanting Om 3 times. I invite you to center on the breath. Let's start to slow it down in a balanced in-breath and out-breath, creating a very gentle whispering sound as you close your lips to warm up the body. So creating that whisper by softly narrowing the back of your throat. This is a practice called Ujjayi Pranayama, or victorious breath. It helps to balance your energy, calm your mind, and focus your mind and body. So creating that sound, I'll also invite you to lengthen the breath for 6 counts in and 6 counts out. This is a mindfulness technique called resonant breathing, which also helps to calm the nervous system. So let's try a few rounds together and continue on after that on your own. So empty this breath, closing the lips. Inhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep counting a few more cycles in your mind, inviting the breath to fully expand throughout your torso as you inhale. Filling up all 4 walls of your rib cage gently. And as you exhale, invite your belly to soften. Feel your shoulders relax, though the spine remains tall and alert without feeling rigid. And continue to lengthen your breath like this, gently audible whispering sound. And I'll invite you to start lying down on your back with our gentle movement to warm up. So as you lie on your back, bending your knees, step your feet on the ground, wider apart than your hips distance. Open up the arms so they're out of the legs' ways as we windshield wiper the legs to the breath. Inhale, slowly drop both knees to the right, keeping the feet where they are. Exhale the knees all the way to the left. Linking your movement to the slow pace of your breath. Keep going for several more cycles of breath. Observing the sensations throughout your pelvis and thighs as you move in both directions. Noticing without judging. Let's finish one more full breath here. And then come back to center and bend your right knee into your chest. Take hold of your right thigh or shin with both hands. Relax the shoulders to the ground, relax the head, and slide your left leg forward straight on the floor. Hugging your right thigh closer and closer towards the right side of your abdomen. Let's begin to circle the right foot too, moving to the breath. Notice the sensations at your right calf and shin, and all throughout your right ankle and foot. Change the direction of your right foot a few more times. Let's point the toes and flex. Pointing and flexing to the breath. And then slide your right leg straight to the ground. Relax the right foot and bend the left knee towards your chest. Taking hold of the shin or thigh with both hands. Breath by breath, draw the left thigh closer to the left side of your abdomen, circling your left foot at the ankle. Now let's point the left toes. Flex the left toes. Let the breath pace this movement. And then draw your two bent knees into your chest. Take hold of your knees with your hands and inhale, rotate your thighs away from each other. Exhale, circle your thighs towards each other. Keep going, several more breaths, switching it up, opposite directions. Notice the sensations at your hip sockets and all around your inner front, back, outer thighs. Then draw your bent knees into your chest and start to rock forward and back several times. Making your way to stand at the top of your mat in a forward fold with your feet hips distance or wider apart. Make sure that your feet are parallel to each other. Bend your knees generously and reach hold of opposite elbows, gently swaying your spine side to side. Shift your weight forward as far as you can balance here. Relax the neck, maybe shake the head a few times. Nod the head a few times. And then switch the whole of the elbow on top as you float the shoulder bones up away from the ears. Let the head drop. Continue to bend your knees, maybe even a little deeper. And reach the hands behind your back to clasp. If it's easier to do this with a strap, hold the strap between your hands and space the hands as far apart as it helps. Breathe in to lift your chest forward. Roll the shoulders back. Keep the hands together. And as you exhale, only straighten your right leg and lean your torso to the outside of it, bending the left knee generously. Keep tilting forward, relax the neck. Couple more deep breaths here as you're stretching the arms away from your lower back to open the front of your shoulders. What are you feeling here, especially along the back of your right leg? Remember, just noticing without judging. Let's come back through center. Bend both knees. Maybe switch the cross of your thumb and index finger on top. Inhale, lift the chest forward, roll the shoulders back. Keep the right knee bent a lot and straighten the left leg, leaning your torso to the outside of it. As you shift forward, relax your neck, soften your jaw and tongue. With deep breath, stretching the arms away from your lower back, lifting the shoulder bones and lengthening your neck. Bend both knees, release your arms, come back through center. Plant your fingertips either on your shins, blocks, or the ground. Inhale, lengthen your spine forward into a half forward fold. Draw your shoulders back and reach the crown of your head forward. Keep leaning forward. Exhale, bow towards your legs. Follow the breath. Let's try this a couple more times. Press firmly with your fingertips. Inhale, stretch your spine forward and lengthen the sides of your torso, sides of your neck. Exhale, forward fold. Once more, press with the hands to create traction. Inhale, draw your heart through the gates of your arms, firming the belly in towards the spine. Exhale, hinge forward. Bend the knees a lot more and release the arms, release the head. As you breathe in, slowly roll your spine upright, as if stacking one vertebra at a time.
lifting your head last. As you arrive at the top, roll your shoulders back and down, turning your palms to face forward by your sides. Stand tall. Feel the earth with the four corners of each foot. Spreading your toes, lift the energy up the midline of your body. Relaxing your shoulders, lift through the back of your skull, standing tall, stable. Feel the support of your legs rooted into the earth. As you join your hands in prayer at the heart, remember your intention for this practice. Bringing gratitude to the sun, this great source of energy. Let's practice a few rounds of half sun salutations. Ardha Surya Namaskar. On your next in-breath, sweep your arms forward and overhead, rolling your shoulders back, look up. As you exhale, hinge forward from your hips. Feel free to bend the knees if that allows more ease. Plant your fingertips on shins, blocks to the floor, and inhale, lengthen your spine forward. Exhale, fold over your legs. Firm down through your feet. Inhale, sweep the arms forward, rising to the top, coiling your chest up. Exhale as you trace your palms in prayer down to your chest, your heart center. Twice more. Inhale, sweep the arms forward, roll your shoulders back and down. Exhale, forward fold. Press with your hands. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise forward. Exhale, hands at the heart. Last time, inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, arms overhead. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, half forward fold. Exhale again, forward fold. Rooting down, inhale, rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands down to your heart center. We're going to add a gentle Qigong, actually Tai Chi movement. So have your feet hips width apart, keep your hips evenly facing forward, engage the abdomen slightly as we're going to play with some balance as well. So shift your weight onto your right foot, arms by your sides, palms facing forward, connect to your breath. And as you inhale, flex your left foot in front of you, bending the knee about the height of your hip, extend the arms forward, palms face up. As you exhale, palms face down, sweep the left leg and arms back, stepping into a high lunge on the ball of your left foot. And that's it. Now imagine that you're balancing a book on your head. Try to keep your spine vertically upright as we move in and out of this lunge. Inhale, lift the left knee forward, arms forward. Exhale, arms and left foot back. 3 more. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Now bring your hands to your hips and lower your left knee to the ground. You may like to have a block under each hand as you frame your front ankle with your fingertips. Now keep the left toes tucked. Make sure your legs are hips width apart. Your front knee is bending just on top of the heel, but not over bending past the heel. Let's warm up the lower body a little bit more here. So keep the hands down on blocks or the floor. Shoulders relaxed. Inhale, let your pelvis sink. Exhale, lift the left knee and keep the feet where they are as you start to straighten the legs to your degree by scissoring the right hip back while extending your chest forward to bow towards your right shin. Try not to round the back here. Inhale, lower left knee, lunge. Exhale, lift left knee, pyramid pose. 3 more cycles of breath. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Come into a high lunge. So you're bending the front knee, but the back knee is off the floor. Adjust the height of your blocks to the tallest height for accessibility and step your left foot crossed behind your right foot at the top of your mat. Bend the right knee slightly here. Have the blocks in front of your feet so you can lean forward and keep the left leg straight without locking the left knee. Press into your blocks and inhale, lift your chest forward. Glide the shoulder blades back. Try to keep the spine long, not rounding the back. So just fold to the degree you can maintain that over your legs. Tilting the weight forward. You're going to be here for 5 to 7 deep breaths. And during that, I invite you to observe the sensations in the backs of your legs, especially the left leg here. And just sensing the aliveness of your body through those sensations. Let the head hang freely, not adding any unnecessary tension in the neck, shoulders, face, or breath. Now you might press into your blocks for support as you step the left foot to the left side of your right foot. Feet hips width apart, parallel, forward fold. Go ahead and place the blocks to frame your outer heels slightly behind you. And bring your hands to your hips. Point the elbows to the sky. Inhale, lead with your chest to rise. As you pause in mountain pose, let the arms rest by your sides, palms facing forward. Feel the ground again through the 4 corners of each foot. Standing tall, inviting spaciousness throughout your body. Engage your lower belly by drawing it in and up, and steady your gaze to help with your balance. Shift your weight onto your left foot, and inhale, bend your right knee in front of you as you flex your right foot, sweeping the arms forward, palms face up. Exhale, palms face down, step the ball of your right foot way back into a high lunge, sweeping the arms behind you. Now remember, as we continue this movement into both poses, imagine you're balancing a book on your head. So try not to tilt your torso forward and back as you move the body forward and back. Try to keep the torso vertical. Inhale, rock forward, bending right knee in front, arms forward. Exhale, step the ball, the right foot back, arms back. 3 more cycles of breath. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Now, bring your hands to your hips. Keep your hips evenly facing forward and lower your right knee to the ground. Keep your right toes tucked and grab your blocks to frame your front ankle. Just the height of the blocks as you need so that you're able to breathe comfortably, relaxing the shoulders. Inhale, sink your hips. Exhale, lift your right knee and draw your left outer hip back towards straightening your legs as you bow with the feeling of a flat back. Inhale, kneeling lunge. Exhale, pyramid pose. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, pyramid. Now come into a high lunge, lifting the back knee, and adjust your blocks to their highest height just for accessibility. Glide your right foot to cross behind your left foot and bend your left knee slightly, or as much as you need, while keeping the right leg straight without locking your right knee. Shift your weight forward, pressing into the blocks in front of your feet, and hinge from your hips, just the degree that you can keep your spine long, not rounding the shoulders, not rounding the back. Let's tune in to the sensations you're feeling along the back side of your right leg. 5 to 7 more breaths here. Now this time, stepping right foot to the right side of the front foot. Separate the feet wider apart than hips distance. And from both hip sockets, turn out both thighs at the hip. Bend your knees in the direction of the middle toe underneath each knee, and feel free to stack your props. You can even add a pillow on top of the blocks, or to hover your pelvis off the ground if that is comfortable, not straining your body in any way. Find your version of malasana, a squat. With your elbows or your hands, splay your inner thighs apart and lift your spine tall. Roll your shoulders back and down. You can opt to stay here, maybe joining the hands in prayer at the heart, or add a spinal twist by crossing your left arm in front of your left thigh, fingertips on the ground or a prop, and raising your right arm as you turn your chest towards the sky. Or press your right hand into your right thigh, adding some leverage. Or open up the front of the right shoulder, wrapping the right arm behind you, maybe clasping the hands with the left arm around the left shin. 3 more breaths here. Inhale, root down to your feet, lift up your spine. Exhale, relax your shoulders, rotate your rib cage if you're twisting. Then unwind back to center. Lengthen your spine, splay open your inner thighs, root down to your heels. If you're twisting, cross the right arm in front of the right thigh and raise the left arm, turning your chest towards the sky. Or press the left hand into your left thigh, or wrap the left arm behind you, maybe the hands clasp. Lift the spine as you inhale, rooting the feet down. And turn your chest as you exhale, relaxing your shoulders. And then unwinding your spine, rock forward to arrive at hands and knees on the floor. We're going to set up for a posture called Virasana or Supta Virasana, hero's pose or supine hero's pose. Now, first, start with sitting on whatever's most comfortable. So if the knees don't like to bend that deeply, you could place, let me start with the most support, the mildest version of the pose, and then you can see what degree you want to use props. So if you've got knee stuff going on and your knees do not like to bend that deeply, you can place a pillow right up against the backs of your knees and sit up on that. You could even add a blanket, make it even thicker. So the more you're sitting on, the less your knees are bending. Make sure that in any version of this pose, your feet are not turned out or turned in. Make sure your toes are pointed back and you can feel all your toenails pressing into the ground. This just helps to make sure your knees are aligned safely. And then the knees, no wider than hips distance apart. Now, if it feels fine to use a thinner prop behind the knees, you can do that, or use a block or 2 blocks right between the ankles, like this. Or going further, sit on your ankles or calves like this. Or going further, gently roll the calves aside and sit on the ground right between your ankles. Now you might be feeling plenty of sensations along your quadriceps, the front muscles of your thighs. You can stay right here, maybe place a hand at the heart, hand in the belly, wherever it relaxes you, both palms down at the thighs, and sit tall, relax the shoulders. If you need to feel more in this posture, you can place the hands behind you. You might set up a pillow or a couple of blocks behind you as well. And breath by breath, sealing in the bottom of your front ribs, lengthening your tailbone forward. You might start to lean your torso back slowly. Just really paying attention to your body, letting you know how deep you need to lean back without causing pain or strain. Maybe discomfort arrives, and see what you can tolerate with deep breaths, because sometimes discomfort is a sign that you're opening things up that might have been tense.
Some of you might lean on your forearm or with forearms on the floor. Some of you might lie flat on the ground. Just observe without pushing or forcing any depth. Take your time. We're gonna be here for 2 minutes anyway. So focusing on the breath, slow in breaths, about 6 counts. Just the slow out breaths, about 6 counts. If you find your attention really jumping around, the mind feels restless, then you might continue counting on your own, 6 and 6. And so we talked about the mind traps at the beginning of this practice. What are you observing about any patterns of thinking, patterns of the mind? The 3 we highlighted were shoulds, negative self-talk, or focusing on the negative. Tune into one more full breath where you are. And then be very gentle with yourself as you gradually come up and out of this posture. Take your time. Stay aware of your breath. Eventually, we'll slide the legs out in front of us, sitting upright. And maybe rolling out the feet. Just giving your ankles some release, as that's a deep ankle stretch as well. Maybe rolling out your legs, inner and outer thighs, rotating. And then take a strap and just set it aside near the back of your mat. Have a block near the rear of your mat as well. And come on down to your back. Bending your knees, step your feet on the ground. Turning out your right thigh at the hip. Flex your right foot as you cross the right thigh over, your right ankle over your left thigh. Keep your left foot on the ground here. Relax the head and shoulders down. You could also place a pillow under your head if needed. Use your right hand to gently press away your inner right thigh close to your hip. Not the knee, but close to the hip. So flexing your right foot here looks like curling the toes back towards your right shin. And this helps to engage the muscles around your right knee to stabilize it. So you're not turning laterally at the knee, you're turning from your hip socket. Now you might choose to stay here longer, or see if your body would like to lift the left foot. Thread your right hand between your thighs, and with 2 hands hold your left thigh or left shin, gradually bringing the left leg towards you, while you continue to splay your right thigh open, maybe nudging it with your right arm. Full in breath. Relaxing out breath. Now stepping your left foot on the ground again, bend your right knee to the right side of your rib cage. And here's where you might use the strap. Bring the right arm inside of your right thigh, catching hold of your right outer shin, ankle, or foot. Imagine you're bringing your right leg into happy baby. Now with your left hand, press down on the top of your left thigh and straighten the left leg forward, flexing the left foot. Keep the back of your left hip on the floor as you splay your right thigh out to your right side, lifting the sole of your right foot to face straight up towards the sky. Right leg in happy baby or supine version of lizard lunge. We're going to straighten the right leg in a moment. And if you're not using a strap already, you might find it useful to be able to keep your shoulders on the ground. Otherwise, you can clasp your right big toe with your right index and middle fingers, flex your right foot, continue to turn out your right thigh at the hip and straighten the right leg out to the right, just to the degree that you can still breathe deeply and calmly. Observing your body here, observing your breath. As we stay a little longer in this supine version of hand to big toe pose, tack the outer crease of your right hip forward, lengthening the right side of your torso. Another way to look at it is to direct your right sitting bone towards your inner left heel. And step your 2 feet on the ground again with both knees bent. Turn out your left thigh at the hip, flexing your left foot, stabilize your left knee, and cross your left ankle onto your right thigh. Keep your right foot on the ground as you press your left palm against your inner left thigh, close to the hip, not towards the knee. Grounding the back of your right hip, relax your head and shoulders down, and notice your breathing. Notice anything your hips are telling you here on this side. Choose to either stay here or lifting your right foot, thread your left hand between your thighs. With 2 hands, hold your right thigh or shin. Continue to splay your left thigh open, maybe nudging it with your left arm as you bring the right leg closer. Thread the needle. Stepping your right foot onto the ground, keep your left knee bent and bend it to the left side of your rib cage. Bring the left arm inside of your left thigh. Cross the left hand to hold your outer left shin, ankle, or foot as if you're just bringing your left leg into happy baby. With your right hand, press down on the top of your right thigh, making sure the back of your right hip stays grounded as you straighten the right leg. Flex the right foot and continue splaying the left thigh to the outside of your left shoulder so that the sole of your left foot faces the sky. Now you might want to use a strap around the ball of your left foot Or clasp your left big toe with your peace fingers as you flex the left foot, either way. As you continue to turn out your left thigh at the hip, rotating from the hip socket and flexing the left foot, begin to straighten your left leg out to the left, just the extent in which your body's letting you know needs to go. Deep breaths here. Supta Utthita Hasta Parangushtasana. As you continue to rest your head and shoulders down, back of the right hip down, draw your left outer hip forward towards the front edge of your mat. Or another way to say it, send your left sitting bone towards your inner right heel. Help to lengthen the left side of your torso here. One more deep breath. Then step your 2 feet on the ground. Pause for a breath or so. Draw your bent knees into your chest, rocking side to side. We'll get a little more into the glutes, outer hips, outer thighs. So wrap your right thigh over your left thigh as close together as you can while splaying your feet away from each other. Flex your feet if your knees feel sensitive here. Keep the back of your tailbone, shoulders and head on the floor or head on a pillow. And with your hands, reach hold of your outer feet. If that's not reachable, hold your outer shins. If that's not reachable, hold the backs of your thighs. Then as you might draw the feet further apart, bring the thighs closer to your chest or intend to for a few deep breaths. This is Supta Gomukhasana or supine cow face pose. Notice what you're feeling in your body here. Switch the cross of your legs, hugging your thighs close together as you splay your feet apart. You might flex your feet to support your knees. Take hold of your outer feet, shins, or backs of your thighs. Keep your pelvis heavy on the floor. And as you draw your thighs towards your belly and splay the feet wider apart, even if only by intention. A few more deep breaths. Uncross your legs and step your feet on the ground again. Then take the block, there it is, and lift your hips. Slide the block wide across your sacrum, the flat part of your lower back. Lift the legs tight for more stability here as we'll come into supported shoulder stand. Keep your weight of your pelvis on the block and raise your legs up with your knees comfortable or your legs comfortably straight. Make sure your legs don't feel rigid here. They're as relaxed as possible. If you've got really tight hamstrings and your legs extend forward a lot, making it uncomfortable, you can place a strap around the balls of your feet like this to help hold the legs up. Otherwise, you might rest your palms face down on your lower belly. So this is a posture that helps to relax tense legs and feet, promoting circulation and digestion and relaxation. Let's continue with that resonant breathing combined with Ujjayi pranayama. One more breath here. And then gently bend your knees and step your feet on the floor. Remove the block from under. Slowly turn over to one side and just pause there. Lying on your side, resting your head for a few deep breaths. We were just in an inversion, an upside down pose. So you don't want to lift the head up too quickly after that, as you might get lightheaded. Take your time pressing the ground and slowly lifting your torso and head. Come up to sit with your legs straight in front of you, separating your feet hips width apart. Let's prepare for seated forward fold. Now you may like to use a strap around the balls of your feet so that you're able to give yourself enough slack to relax the shoulders back and down. Or if you know that you can comfortably reach the backs of your legs or clasp your big toes without rounding the shoulders or back, you might start with your arms overhead. Draw the shoulders down. As you flex your feet, flex the front muscles of your thighs to support your hamstrings at the back. Root your sitting bones firmly down and hug your outer hips towards your lower spine. As you breathe in, lift the lower spine from the pelvis, lift the heart, and open your throat. As you breathe out, firm in the belly and hinge forward from the hips just a little bit, then pause. Breathe in, press the pelvis down and continue to stretch the spine from the hips. Breathe out, hinge forward another little bit. Continue to explore your range of motion. If you're not holding a strap, lower your arms to hold your legs or to clasp your big toes. And try to keep a little lift in your chest. Throat open, shoulders relax as you're bowing for about 5 more deep breaths. Pressing your hips down, breathe in and start to lift your chest, coming all the way up. Relax your toes. Please find a comfortable way to sit. And if you are sitting cross-legged, I invite you to notice which leg you habitually, maybe, place in front or on top, and see if you can switch that up just to have more balance in your hips. So I invite you into one more breathing practice before we rest in corpse pose, and that is box breathing, Samavriti Pranayama. It's a grounding and calming breathing technique, bringing clarity of mind. You might close your eyes, you might rest your palms face down in the lap to invite grounding energy, maybe the thumb and index fingers touch, sitting tall and relaxed. So as you close the lips and continue to breathe through the nose softly, we'll inhale for a count of 4, hold the breath for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 4, and hold the breath for a count of 4. When you're holding the breath, try to relax. Let's begin 3 cycles together and continue 3 cycles on your own. Prepare to start by emptying this breath. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Second cycle, inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Third cycle, inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep going. 3 more cycles. When you're finished, let go of controlling your breath. As you breathe naturally, observe how you're feeling. And stay aware of that as you start to lower your body to the ground. Find a comfortable way to lie down and rest in stillness for the next few minutes of Shavasana. For your comfort, you might prop the backs of your knees with a pillow across your mat. You might cover your eyes. You might place a weighted blanket over your pelvis and belly to invite grounding feeling. And as you close your eyes, relax the shoulders back and down, maybe turning the palms face up, slightly away from your thighs. Let your body sink into the earth, resting into stillness. Resting here with your eyes closed, observe how your body feels now. And start with small movements, slowly and little by little, waking your body up, keeping the eyes closed to tune inward. Ease into stretching your arms, and then turn over to your right side and rest for a few moments there, observing the breath as it is. And notice how you feel now energetically. And then take your time lifting your body up. Please find again a way to sit comfortably, tall, relaxed, grounded, and open. To sit for 5 minutes in silent meditation. You might close the eyes and maybe begin by resting your awareness on an anchor of your choice. The feeling of the breath naturally, the feeling of your pelvis on the seat below, or a sound in your background, whatever connects you to the present moment. If something draws your attention, let your attention go there and notice yourself attending to that. Still feeling that anchor in the background, the breath or the sound. And when it no longer calls your attention, then let your awareness soften back to your anchor. If your attention is drawn to a thought, notice that thought. And continue to feel your anchor in the background. Remember that these moments of noticing your attention has drifted are moments of awakening. And sense the way your mind feels now. Notice any emotions you're experiencing. And then I invite you to another practice of gratitude, choosing something to be thankful for. Remember what your intention is for today. And remember to whom you dedicated this practice. Let's join our voices to close with 3 chants of Om. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.